Guys, have y'all noticed how lately Steve Harvey is suddenly doing all these interviews where Lori's name just happens to come up? Like every time he sits down with a podcast microphone in front of him, he is dropping these major hints about her dating life. It's getting hard to ignore. Well, rumor has it that Daddy Steve Harvey is officially so fed up with Lori and all her public mess, and that he's low-key distancing himself from her.
It's hard, man. I ain't even gonna lie, it's hard. I've had to swallow some things, you know.
See, Steve actually said that it's been hard watching Lori Harvey make questionable choices in her dating life, instead of committing with people like Michael B. Jordan, admitting he's had to swallow his pride and stay quiet. But apparently, not anymore. He's reportedly done sticking out for her. And guess what? Allegedly, Michael B. Jordan is totally clowning this situation and saying that he's not surprised that Steve could disown Lori. I mean, he would know some inner details because he dated Lori, but let's get into exactly what's happening in that camp. Okay, here's the thing is, for years, Steve Harvey would completely dodge the media or give a dry, "I don't know nothing about that," whenever reporters asked about Lori's exes. But now, he's actively sitting down, opening up, and sighing through these questions. And people are saying that the shift in his energy is so obvious. Fans are realizing that those long pauses and tight smiles mean the frustration behind closed doors is finally spilling over, because he is done with Lori embarrassing him out here. Child, if I'm being honest, I kinda get where the frustrations would be coming from. Of course, we know that Steve has spent decades building a clean, respectable, family man brand. Like, this is literally his brand. We are talking about someone who wrote "Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man," and gave details on how the dating life is supposed to be. Steve even recently went on an entire cleanup campaign when people started talking about Lori and Diddy, and did several interviews where he was talking about how he teaches his sons to respect women and how he insists on vetting his daughter's suitors. He actually said that if a potential partner doesn't meet his standards, he makes it clear, and they're swiftly shown the door. Now, imagine writing the literal blueprint on how women should get a man, and doing several interviews on the same, and then your own daughter is out here providing endless, messy content for the shade rooms. Clearly, her choices are continuously undermining his own legacy, and that's reportedly where the real frustration is coming from. Apparently, if you watch his latest interviews where he talks about Lori, you will definitely pick up the hints, and especially the one where he was talking about Michael B. Jordan.
See, I gotta be real careful, because Lori, boy, she be in my... I can't make no mistakes. I can't make stuff. I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your is my ex too. That's the rule. The rule in our house is any boy that's an ex, he's now my ex too. I must hate him.
Guys are saying that you could tell he was low-key swallowing his pride because he was heavily rooting for Michael B. Jordan, and he saw MBJ as a solid, established man who could actually protect and provide. As a matter of fact, the relationship with Michael B. Jordan was actually the only relationship that made sense, since Lori's relationship with Memphis Depay, and insiders even reported that Lori's dad, Steve Harvey, secretly wished that Lori would get back together with Michael B. Jordan. Lori was reportedly on thin ice with Steve after the Future situationship, and she used Michael to get back into good graces, because Michael at least had a decent Hollywood reputation compared to the others. According to sources, the relationship between the two was supposed to restore Lori's dignity. So, watching Lori walk away from that, only to get linked to a revolving door of other industry guys, the streets are saying Steve is still quietly heartbroken. Of course, he can't straight up trash his daughter on a public platform, but the body language, the long sighs, the way he adjusted himself, it was giving, "I raised you better than this, but I have to keep my mouth shut." Basically, people are saying that in the interviews, what Steve Harvey didn't say is actually louder than what he did. And apparently, when Steve started talking about Lori's dating life, you could literally see the dad's exhaustion in his eyes. And for him to say that he had to swallow his pride, do y'all know how hard it is for Steve Harvey to stay quiet? This is a man who makes a living telling people exactly what to do. So when he admits he had to swallow his pride, he's basically telling us he's been biting his tongue until it bleeds, and he's finally bitten it too hard and is done staying silent. And especially since there have been other allegations here and there about how Lori has low-key been living a double life as a high-earning yacht girly. Baby, Steve is T for tired. The allegation is that Lori doesn't just date these Hollywood men out of love, and she apparently has a literal, strict rental contract where she gets paid millions by high high-profile men to be their elite arm candy for a weekend, a month, or even a year just to boost their ego. In fact, there have been several blind items over the years that have said Lori is definitely yachting out here, and how some men usually don't want to stay with her for more than a weekend. Well, insiders are now reporting that Steve is done playing the quiet, supportive dad, while the internet clowns his family name. Apparently, behind the scenes, he's stepping in, and the disappointed father's energy is officially on display. And based on what I've heard, Michael B. Jordan's camp is also low-key laughing and clowning Lori behind the scenes, especially now that these wild rumors are blowing up that Steve is ready to completely disown Lori. Child, I totally see how MBJ could be clowning Lori. Because remember how the Harveys went as far as tarnishing his name and claiming that he cheated on Lori with his ex-white girlfriend? Y'all remember Lisa Ray, who also happens to be the best friend of Lori's mom Marjorie, suggested that MBJ had cheated on Lori, and it didn't help that neither Lori nor Marjorie came out to deny it. According to Lisa, the rumors about Lori and Michael breaking up because Lori wasn't ready to marry him were all BS. She claimed Lori actually wanted to marry him, but she had found out a few days prior to him proposing to her that he was messing with his white ex-girlfriend, and she wasn't having any of it.
But I think at the same time, she's young. I think the established relationship that Michael did have before this one, I think that maybe that social media, that all of that was a lot for him. And I think that he, I heard about his ex, and him was so serious that he may have missed her.
Anywho, people are saying that it wouldn't be that hard for Steve to disown Lori, because she's not his biological blood anyway. Actually, the narrative being spun is that Steve feels his actual biological blood could never act out like this, or bring this much constant media chaos to the family name, and Lori just keeps bringing shame to the brand he built for years. Well, for a lot of people, honestly, the saddest part of this whole mess is how Steve really tried. Like, really tried with Lori. I mean, anybody who has been following the Harvey family knows that Lori was so obviously his favorite. He gave her his last name, he threw her the most lavish birthday parties, and he shielded her from the media for years like a proud, protective alpha dad. Like Steve put her on a literal pedestal and treated Lori like the ultimate crown jewel of the family.
Don't play. Because Lori really thinks she's the special one. She really does. Lori, I told Lori I was gonna cut her off because she's making a lot of money right now. And I was gonna cut her off, and she just started laughing. And then she said, well, and you're not gonna speak to me anymore? I said, yeah, I'll still talk to you. She said, but not if you cut me off. So can't cut her off, so.
Honey, there have even been reports before that there were internal family feuds because of Steve's obsession with Lori, and a source even said that some jealousy was lingering amongst the siblings over Lori, who has been taking the spotlight with everything. But you know what's wild? Even with his other kids allegedly side-eyeing the favoritism, Steve still defended Lori to the high heavens. Behind closed doors, whenever the siblings tried to bring up her questionable choices or complained about her getting special treatment, Steve would completely shut them down. So he actually really tried. But somehow Lori just keeps turning around and embarrassing him on a global stage. And every time he defends her honor or tries to clean up her image, another wild headline drops, or another industry X gets added to her spreadsheet. For a man who values respect and family legacy above everything else, the streets are saying it's just a devastating slap in the face. It's like he gave her the world, and in return, he's just getting endless public secondhand embarrassment. I mean, do y'all see why Steve would allegedly want to disown Lori at this point? Like, if your stepdad built a multi-million-dollar legacy on family values, and you're out here giving the blogs endless tea, wouldn't you be completely fed up too? Chill, let me know what your thoughts are on Steve allegedly reaching the breaking point in the comments section below.